For more on this, let me bring in vascular surgeon Dr. Anaida Dua. She's a vascular surgeon at Massachusetts General Hospital. Doctor, good morning to you and welcome back to the show. Explain that to me, aortic dissection. And is that different from a heart attack?
It is different from a heart attack. So the aorta is a major blood vessel in the body that is connected to the heart. And through the aorta, all the blood of the body reaches different organs. So what happens in an aortic dissection is the innermost lining of the aorta, that blood vessel, gets a little chip in it. And then the blood, unfortunately, gets between the two layers of the aorta and actually can tear all the way through and prevent blood from going where it needs to go. For example, in Lindsey Graham's case, unfortunately, what most likely happened is he had a tear that resulted in not enough blood getting to his neck or not enough blood getting to his heart, and that might have caused the heart attack that ultimately, unfortunately, killed him.
You know, his staff said there were no warning signs of this. He showed no signs of illness beforehand, that they had had a call with him, and he sounded tired but fine. How common is it for this to happen but have, you know, no symptoms or warning signs at all right beforehand?
Unfortunately, this is one of those diseases that does not have any warning sign. Much like a heart attack or much like a stroke, it just suddenly presents. The most common feature that a person will have who gets an aortic dissection is high blood pressure. So it's possible that Lindsey Graham had high blood pressure throughout his life. But other than that, there's no other way to know whether or not something like this could potentially happen. It is fairly uncommon, about 3 to 5 people out of 100,000 people. I, of course, see a lot of this at our hospital because it's a tertiary hospital. But unfortunately, in a case like his, when this suddenly happens, unless you can get to a hospital very quickly and the aortic dissection is in a part of the aorta where we can actually fix it, the person will unfortunately die.
It's just awful. I was doing some more reading on this yesterday, doctor, and I was reading that this aortic dissection happened as a result of arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. I hope I'm even saying that correctly, but is that something that the senator would have known he had for a while?
So you said it perfectly. And atherosclerosis just means hardening of the arteries. That's all it means. And a lot of people at that age will have some calcium that's within their arteries. And indeed, he would have known that he had that. And a lot of people do have that. It doesn't necessarily mean that they'll go on to have an aortic dissection, go on to have a heart attack. I think the most likely thing that was in his history that says that he was going to have something cardiovascular was that his own father died at 58 of a heart attack.
Yeah. So what's the message? What's the takeaway from everybody watching this? If there are no warning signs right beforehand, how do we keep something like this from happening to us or our loved ones?
Well, the most important thing you can do is take care of your health throughout your life. This is not something that happened to Lindsey Graham in the last day when he passed away. This was something that was going to happen over years based on what type of diet people have, how they take care of their blood pressure and cardiovascular health, how they exercise, and of course, genetics. So the most important thing I would say to the public is take care of your health, go to those doctor visits, because there are a few things that we can do, like control your blood pressure, for example, that would have potentially prevented this from happening to him in the first place.
And last question for you, his death comes at the same time that, this mystery has surrounded Senator Mitch McConnell's health. He finally revealed this weekend in the wake of Senator Graham's passing that he suffered a fall and then has been battling pneumonia. What's your professional medical opinion about how transparent members of Congress should be about their health, ma'am?
Well, I personally think that they should be transparent in the same way that I would need to be transparent as a surgeon. You wouldn't want me operating on one of your family members if I had health issues that would prevent me from really partaking in my education and, of course, being physically present to do the procedure. We don't allow this with our airline pilots. We don't allow this with our fighter pilots. Why would we allow it with the highest executive office?
Well, we are continuing to think of, Senator McConnell's team and also just Lindsey Graham's family and his whole camp this morning. It's just unbelievable. Dr. Anaida Dua, thank you for your medical expertise and sharing that with us here on air. I always appreciate you.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll see you again soon. Well, still ahead.